Imagine looking into the eyes of a dog who has just come out of the most difficult transformation of its life. The coat, once tangled and heavy like a burden of forgotten time, has now been carefully shaved away, revealing skin that has not felt air in months. In this moment of vulnerability, there is something deeply emotional happening beneath the surface. It is not just grooming. It is a quiet reset of life itself. Anyone who has ever witnessed a severely matted dog being shaved knows the silence that follows. It is a silence filled with questions about what comes next. The skin looks exposed, almost fragile, and the dog appears unfamiliar even to itself. Yet beneath that fragile exterior begins a remarkable process of healing that most people rarely notice. Veterinarians and experts like Dr. Karen Becker often remind us that the body of an animal is designed for resilience when given proper care. Recovery after severe shaving is not instant. It is a slow unfolding story written in skin follicles and nutrition that supports renewal. But there is a moment in every recovery that feels uncertain, almost unsettling, when progress seems invisible and hope feels delayed. In that space between what was removed and what is growing back, there's a deeper truth about healing that cannot be rushed. Caregivers who understand this stage learn patience in ways that change their entire relationship with animals and health. Nutrition becomes more than feeding. It becomes communication with the body itself, offering what is needed to rebuild strength from within. And as days pass, the first signs of regrowth appear subtle, yet undeniable, like whispers of new life returning through the skin. Still, the journey, however, is not only physical, it carries an emotional weight for those who love the animal. Watching a dog transition from distress to recovery teaches humility and awareness of how fragile comfort can be. It also reveals how deeply environment, diet, and routine influence coat-tail health and overall well-being. There are moments when the regrowth seems uneven and discouraging, but nature rarely works in straight lines. Each patch of fur returns on its own schedule, reminding us that healing is personal and adaptive. At times, it may even seem as though nothing is happening at all, but beneath the surface, cells are working quietly, rebuilding what was lost. The skin barrier begins to strengthen, slowly responding to improved nutrition, gentle care, and consistent attention that signals safety to the body, allowing follicles to awaken from dormancy and begin producing healthy strands of fur once again, while the dog gradually regains comfort, confidence, and natural expression of vitality. In this transformation, there is a quiet lesson about patience, trust, and the unseen intelligence of nature guiding recovery, reminding us that healing is never only surface deep, but also rooted in care, consistency, and understanding of biological rhythms that cannot be forced, but must be supported gently over time while life reclaims its balance again fully. In the middle of this recovery journey, there is often a turning point that is not immediately obvious, but changes everything that follows. The shaved coat that once looked bare and vulnerable begins to show uneven patches of new growth, and this is where many caregivers start to worry unnecessarily. The texture may feel different from what they remember, sometimes coarse in one area and softer in another, creating the illusion that something has gone wrong. Yet, according to principles often emphasized by Dr. Karen Becker, this variation is not only normal, but expected. Because hair follicles do not all reset at the same time. Each follicle has its own biological rhythm, influenced by circulation, nutrition, stress levels, and even the dog's emotional state. What appears chaotic on the surface is actually a highly organized biological process unfolding beneath the skin. Still, this is the stage where patience is tested the most. A caregiver may find themselves looking for signs of uniform regrowth and feeling discouraged when progress seems uneven or slow. In reality, the body is prioritizing repair in layers, starting with skin integrity before focusing on cosmetic coat balance. During this phase, nutrition becomes even more critical, especially diets rich in essential fatty acids, high-quality proteins, and micronutrients that support keratin production. Without these building blocks, the coat cannot fully return to its natural strength or shine. There is also a deeper layer of healing happening internally, where the immune system adjusts after months of stress caused by matting, restricted airflow, and potential skin irritation. As the body stabilizes, inflammation decreases, allowing follicles to function more efficiently. But just when improvement seems predictable, there is often a subtle pause that feels like stagnation. This is where many people begin to doubt whether full recovery is truly possible. However, nature often uses these pauses as recalibration points, ensuring that regrowth is sustainable rather than rushed. And then, without dramatic announcement, something shifts again. The coat begins to fill in more evenly, the skin tone looks healthier, and the dog's behavior subtly changes, showing more comfort in movement and rest. Energy returns in small but noticeable ways, like longer naps without restlessness or more playful engagement during walks. These signs are easy to overlook, but they represent significant internal progress. Yet the story does not remain simple, because healing often brings unexpected challenges that test both patience and understanding, just as confidence begins to build. External factors like seasonal changes, grooming habits, or environmental stress can influence the pace of recovery. This is the point in the journey where suspense naturally builds. Because even when improvement is visible, there is uncertainty about how complete the transformation will be. Caregivers find themselves observing closely, wondering whether the coat will ever resemble its original condition or evolve into something entirely new. And in that uncertainty, there is a quiet reminder that healing is not about returning to the past, but about creating a stronger, healthier version of what comes next through steady care, mindful nutrition, and consistent trust in the body's ability to rebuild itself from within, while time continues shaping the final outcome in ways that cannot be fully predicted, but can always be supported with patience and intention and gentle daily attention that honors the slow intelligence of natural recovery, unfolding in its own precise rhythm without force or hurry or expectation beyond what the body is ready to give in each passing moment of restoration. In the final stage of this transformation, something remarkable begins to reveal itself. Not as a sudden change, but as a gradual return of balance that feels almost unnoticeable at first, yet becomes undeniable over time as the coat that once seemed uncertain begins to mature into a fuller, healthier expression of the dog's natural design. And caregivers who have remained patient start to witness the reward of consistency in care, nutrition, and emotional stability, because every strand of new fur carries evidence of internal repair that was never visible on the surface alone. This is where understanding Dr. Karen Becker becomes essential, as she often emphasizes that true healing in animals is never isolated to one system, but rather a full body integration of nutrition, environment, and emotional well-being working together in harmony. As this harmony strengthens, the coat begins to reflect it in both texture and shine, while something deeper also happens in the dog's behavior. As confidence returns, curiosity increases, and the animal that once felt vulnerable begins to move through life with renewed ease. However, even in this advanced stage, recovery still holds subtle uncertainties, because minor setbacks or external stressors can temporarily influence the pace of regrowth, reminding caregivers that healing is never a straight line, but a living process that continues to adjust and refine itself until full stability is achieved. There are moments when progress appears complete on the surface, yet deeper layers of restoration are still unfolding beneath the skin, where follicles continue to strengthen and the immune system maintains its rebalanced state. And over time, what was once a patchy and fragile coat evolves into something more uniform and resilient, reflecting not just physical improvement, but a complete systemic recovery supported by thoughtful nutrition and consistent care routines that reinforce long-term health. And in these final moments of transformation, there is often a quiet emotional realization for the caregiver, a recognition that patience has reshaped not only the animal's body, but also their own understanding of healing itself, revealing that recovery is not about rushing toward an outcome, but about honoring each phase as it arrives naturally. In this way, the journey becomes as meaningful as the result, teaching that resilience is built slowly, through steady attention and compassion that never forces change, but supports it until it fully emerges. At this stage, the smallest details begin to matter more than ever, including daily grooming routines, balanced hydration, and consistent observation of skin condition that help maintain the progress already achieved while preventing old issues from returning. Even subtle changes in diet or environment can influence how the coat continues to develop, making awareness an essential part of long-term care. Over time, the dog's entire presence shifts into a calmer, more confident state that reflects internal stability and external comfort working together in harmony, reinforcing the idea that true recovery is sustained through ongoing attention rather than a single moment of success, and continued compassion ensures lasting health and emotional well-being for life. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notifications so you can see our new videos early.